All right, Monday weather work week forecast coming at you because, of course, we always get this right the first time out. We've got Brandon and Edwin there at the National Weather Service standing by in Teton to let us know what Mother Nature has in store for us. It's either going to be rainy or hot these days. So, boys, we appreciate the hustle and we appreciate that wonderful piece of technology behind you that is an absolutely gorgeous display, which I'm assuming is a touchscreen.
Yes, this is our brand new touchscreen, and we introduced a similar touchscreen back with the Typhoon Mawar with all the briefings, and we've been long looking for a system like this to really aid in some of the briefings, just like what we're doing here, and then with in-office training, conferences, and all that good stuff. So we look forward to making this more mainstream and what we do with the public.
Okay, when you have a graphic that's put up that big, does it really kind of like drive home the point of when we do have unfavorable weather that people really need to do what they should do, either stay off the roads, avoid the places that tend to flood, or secure the house.
Absolutely. A picture is worth 1,000 words. And so we could be up here in front of the camera and just yapping, yapping, yapping. But nonetheless, we put a picture and really identify what's happening and where. Now we can help to drive home the point on just what is the potential that could happen. And so right here, looking at the weather radar, we're seeing some heavy showers just pushing off the western tip of Guam. And you see a lot more across the region. And that's just standard fare for this time of year. We're in the latter half of September, wet season, and we're going to be seeing a lot of this in the coming days.
Okay, so kids are back in school now. I see the little ones get up like super early, even before the sun comes up and everything. What should parents and caretakers know about when they walk down the street? Should they bring an umbrella? Should they basically bring like a rain slicker with their kid when they go to the bus stop?
Yeah, so with the conditions that we have now, we should still expect scatter showers and isolated thunderstorms for the rest of the forecast for the next 3 or 4 days. So as mentioned previously, when you see on radar, so with these little outflow boundaries that we have, uh, so as they pass across the island, they do trip over the topographical feature of Guam, and they tend to lift a little bit more, and they produce even more showers. So you can even see those heavier thunderstorms in more popular areas like in Tatuha, also in Santa Rita. So we would highly recommend to continue bringing umbrellas when preparing for school, especially in the early morning showers.
Now, just because Edwin, your graphic implies that a lot of stuff is happening on the West Coast, that doesn't necessarily mean like our friends in Talapopo and Ipan and like our East Coast Guamanians and everything. They don't necessarily need to say like we won't get any rain.
Yeah, unfortunately, they still will, just because these boundaries are already producing showers as they're entering from the eastern waters. It's just a chance of a little bit more heavier rainfall is possible on the other side, the lee side of the hills. But as they approach the Telefo, you still get those showers that are brief in nature, 15 to 20 minutes, but they could still be locally heavy if they do develop a little sooner before they enter our eastern shores. So,
And I appreciate what you just did right there because we need to borrow like an idea from our friends over in Oahu. We need to start referring to like the parts of Guam, like the West Coast and East Coast. We need to start saying the windward side and the leeward side. It makes it so much easier.
yeah, so right, so just right, so to review, right, so like right now, our windward side is considered to be the east, so we continue to have uh, gentle to moderate trades over the next few days. So this kind of regime will continue for at least a few days before the weekend, when showers may diminish a little bit. But we're going to get more into that with Brand later with the developing monsoon trough to our west. So if you don't mind switching to satellite. Let's see.
Ah, nice. Oh boy.
All right, so this is our loop from earlier today on satellite, visible satellite imagery from the Himalaya satellite. So we have this right across region from Palau to Majuro. So we can split this regime into two at this moment. We got West Micronesia for Palau and Yap. We do have a gentle to moderate monsoon trough developing. Oh, oh, yeah. Got a gentle to moderate monsoon trough developing, so there's going to be patches of showers and thunderstorms that will continue to develop over Palau and Yap in the next few days. But they were going to be low end and scattered in nature. They will increase a little bit more as this monsoon trough develops further and crosses over the Marianas by the weekend. Meanwhile, in eastern Micronesia, we got a similar regime to the Marianas. We got east to southeast winds persisting with an invest area at 96W in the area between Coastrai and Majuro. And this one's going to continue to produce unsettled weather across much of the region, including Pohnpei, Coastrai, and Majuro through the weekends. In the next few days, the showers will continue a bit more so Pohnpei and Coastrai before they taper down by the weekend as this disturbance moves more west. There's going to be a bit of a ridge axis that will form on its lee side as well, and that will bring a bit more pleasant weather. Majuro, on the other hand, will continue to have trades that will bring patches of showers and thunderstorms throughout the week.
All right. Now, boys, I got to ask you, Brandon, you can jump back in here, back in frame for a quick second, because I'm seeing a lot of like the various stores we have is Halloween festivities and Halloween costumes, yard yard decorations and everything like that is really starting to go up on sale. Obviously, Halloween's about a month and a half out, but from what you guys can see in your projections and everything, should those of us who plan on doing some trick-or-treating, should we also bring, we're going out at like 7 p.m. Should we maybe stay indoors, or should we trick-or-treat safely?
Right now, go ahead and plan to go the whole 9 yards. So we're in the Burr months. I'm not sure why we're talking Halloween. We're in like Christmas season. My Filipino friends. So Merry Christmas.
Because I'm talking to the party. I'm going to go as Iron Man.
Go ahead with the decorations. Go ahead and plan on trick-or-treating. We still got a month and a half until Halloween. But do keep in mind, as we get within the week before Halloween, and especially in the coming days, the last few days before Halloween, take a look at the latest weather forecast, because I know some of these costumes do not agree well with rain and even sweat. There's a lot of indoor opportunities for trick-or-treating at the local malls. And so that may provide an optimal alternate versus just trick-or-treating in the neighborhoods.
And this is coming from someone who has a little one that I'm sure you've taken around trick-or-treating at least a few times now.
Yes, absolutely. So we're definitely looking forward to it this year. And like Edwin has said, we are looking at a couple of disturbances out there. And so we're in the wet season. Wet season is known for tropical cyclones. And so that's the all-consuming concern is what of these systems could become more a tropical cyclone. And so Edwin did mention a invest area. So there is a circulation down in Pohnpei State that we are watching. It does not show any chance for development in the coming days, but maybe in the next week as it lifts northward. This is just one of the models. This is an ensemble model. This is kind of an average of multiple runs of a model. So we're not seeing the vigorousness of a single model, but what is preserved is the broad circulation. So here's the Marianas right here. And then we have this big circulation off to the east. So between Marianas and Wake Island, circulation with all this westerly flow coming across Micronesia. And across the islands, when we see a westerly, southwesterly flow, that usually amounts to increasing showers, thunderstorm, and gusty winds at times. So that is going to be the consideration that we look to for this coming weekend and early next week. So no tropical cyclone threat, but we could see another wet monsoon pattern developing for this weekend and into next week.
There you go. Okay, and I'm going to let you guys go and I ask this all the time. I'm hoping one of these days I'll be able to get a definitive answer on it. But whenever it rains here, like on Guam, and then it goes back to being like super, super hot, we get those super irritating, like those gnats, and like a cajillion of them all come out at the same time. I swear, I get them up my nose, I get them in my ears, I get them under my eyelids and everything like that. They're super irritating, and apparently they're not very bright creatures because they die right away. But I know you guys aren't, aren't insect scientists and everything like that. But what correlation is there with, with the change in, in climate and, these bugs coming up?
That's a good question. I'm not a bona fide gnatologist. Edwin, are you? We don't know a whole lot about it, but it seems like there are termites that kind of fly around in the air. And especially in these really humid conditions after the showers, they love to spawn. And my friend over at the University of Guam, Dr. Ross Miller, he deals with bugs. And so
shout out to Dr. Ross.
He's awesome to talk to.
Yeah.
But a little side trivia, sometimes we can see these little blooms and swarms of insects lifting off from Guam. We can see that in the weather radar in the evening around sunset.
We'll have to show that those up
sometime. Yes. Think how small a rain droplet is. Insects are bigger. We can see it when there's enough of them. on the weather radar.
Well, yet another reason why they call that time the golden hour, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There you go. Science and a whole bunch more here on the show with a work week weather forecast with Edwin and Brandon and their team at the NWS. The entertainment factor is off the charts here, guys. I love doing this segment.
Thanks for having us.
Before
I
you
have
let us
no idea
go,
what I'm going to talk about week to week either.
Yeah.
Edwin, you got a parting shot you want to leave us with?
Yeah, just before you let us go, there are no warnings, watches, or advisories out at this moment. Seas will remain below hazardous conditions of 4 to 6 feet across the region, and Western Micronesia will be 3 to 5 feet, maybe possibly lower in the region.
All right, but still be safe out there because we want to have all of us around to enjoy this wonderful paradise that we all enjoy. So, boys, we thank you as always, man. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everybody.